That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Vinny Curry in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. So a tough early challenge here, 2nd and long after the sack. Now it's Ryan. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Hey, gun. Let's go, defense. Let's get on the field. Hey, Tuesday.
From the gun, it's Ryan. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of 4th down, 1st down.
Well, so much for winning the down you put a lot of emphasis on, because 3rd down is key for offense and defense. Instead, you're going to stay on the field and start a new set of downs.
Let's go. I'm here all day. Let him go.
Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands.
Ready? White 25. Clears up.
Now the first carry for Ronald Jones. And he gets this up just shy of the 15. Trying to escape the shadow of their goalpost. That helped. 10 yards. 1st down.
I guess it's good we can't really read the mind of the defensive coordinator now, huh?
Had him pinned back there deep. Give up that run. Can't be happy.
Yeah, whatever is in his mind right now, we probably couldn't say over the air.
There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Calling a loss of 2 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Solid coverage on the play by Devondre Campbell.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Play action now. Winston. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
On fourth down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. A big boot that time. 57 yards, the official distance. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
A first carry for the tailback, Devontae Freeman. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
2nd and 7 from the 23. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Tackle made that time by Vita Vea.
Not a whole lot of room to maneuver there, and I think that's because everyone took care of their responsibilities, filled their gaps, held their place.
Through an opening, and there he goes. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
Now here's Bryant to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And now running right through it. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. Ooh, the juke. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Second down, Winston. And this is incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones. And this passing game, this whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Working out of the gun, Winston. And Winston lost the football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Look at the spin.
Balance.
A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive, as it'll begin in enemy territory already. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now the pitch to Freeman. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. In on the stop, Vernon Hargraves. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more.
And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Gerald McCoy able to get in there and take him down for a loss of 3. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons.
11.
Operating from the gun, Ryan is going to fire one deep, middle, looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Levante David, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. Solid footwork, but not able to get a whole lot. Brought down shy of the 10. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Get him, baby. Get him, baby. Let's keep bringing it. Stay in there.
Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Armstrong. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. His first catch, good for 8 and a 1st down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. We'll check on his status when we get back. Now Jameis on 2nd down. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. He's got a man complete. It's a big play. Winston to Evans, 42 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
For those who watch the game and want to question the courage of the guys who play on the corner, how about when you see a toss sweep coming your way, yet you still go into the backfield, get past the blockers, and make the tackle? That's big league.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Winston now. Airing this one out for Evans. He rifles one that's intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Stop made there by Gerald McCoy.
Gerald McCoy is always going to be linked with Ndamukong Suh. They came into the NFL in the same draft class. There was a lot of debate about who was going to be the better defensive tackle. They just do it 2 different ways. McCoy, more movement, more elusiveness. That allowed him to make the play there for a short gain.
From the gun on 3rd down, Ryan. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by M.J. Stewart, and they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 46. They begin the drive with Williams. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
From the gun, Winston. It's a loss of 7. And now it's 3rd down. Play fake. Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And here now come the Falcons. And 3 interceptions in this game, and I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Levante David coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. From the shotgun, Ryan. He completes it to Julio Jones. He got 29 yards that time.
I know that's their first connection in this game, but you and I both know that Julio Jones is without a doubt his quarterback's favorite target.
Oh, yeah, Matt Ryan loves this guy, and who wouldn't?
Yeah, and the reason that he's that is because of his dependability. And quarterbacks have to have that from their receivers, meaning they know where they're going to be when they're running certain routes. They don't break them on them. They don't change them up and do their own freelance stuff and put their quarterbacks in bad situations. Matt Ryan has ultimate trust in Julio Jones.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Throwing again, Ryan. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Falcons will extend their lead. Here's Bryant for the extra point. Bryant's extra point up and good. And it's now 14-0. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get this just up past the 20, but a marker is down. Let's get the call. Yeah, this is going to put them back with a not great field position.
So they really got 0 benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case. They go play action here on 1st down. And incomplete on the deep ball. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. That'll bring up 2nd down. This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
There's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
And he coughs up the football near his own goal line. And the Falcons grab it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
All the practice, all the training, all the meetings. In this situation, I know exactly what quarterbacks are taught. Take care of the football. That's job one, paramount. Because you cough it up here, you might be giving up 6 points real easy.
Tip of the cap to the defense, though, forcing the fumble. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? First and goal. They'll look to run with Freeman. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman, his second touchdown on the season. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and it's now 21-0. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Williams. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Winston. Looking downfield for Godwin. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now Winston. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. First down, Winston. Airing this one out for him, and that's caught inside the 30. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. So we are at halftime here in Atlanta with the Falcons out in front. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or do they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Jameis to throw it. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Off the play fake, Winston. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Grady Jarrett able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That's taken on the 25. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
defense,
got the lead. Yeah.
we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Throw right side, caught by Ridley. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Calvin Ridley, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons will extend their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Winston now to throw on first down. Over the middle to Evans. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a first down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Jameis now on first down. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Winston. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
To throw is Winston. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on first down, then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback, because that was awfully close.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play, as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 16. On play action, Winston. Flushed out right. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
Here's Brian Anger now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent is really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
And now they're just looking to add to that total. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A gain of 32 that time.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make the play on the football.
They run. Devontae Freeman. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Here's Ryan. Steps away. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Now a play fake here on first down. Buying time, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Grady Jarrett in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. They go play action. Winston. He's going to look deep down the field. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. And with that, they're down to 1 remaining here in this second half. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Deion Jones with a big-time sack on 3rd down, and it'll be a loss of 7. Here's Brian Anger now. He's been terrific so far. They'll look to set up his blockers. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. Call it
a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Ryan. And that'll be incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
3 down. Wait! 51's Mike. Mike 51. Right.
From the gun, it's Ryan. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
550.
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he stopped immediately there. Ricardo Allen, the safety, makes the stop.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Oh, yeah!
Second down, Winston. Sliding out of the pocket. And he's going to be taken down. They sack him on what will be the final play of quarter number 3. Back now in Atlanta. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long.
3 down. Hey, check. 3 down.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. And that is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. Taken in at the 22. A great return there of 22 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
What's tight? Tight is right. Hey.
Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 11.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And he will find Ridley on the left side. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Let's go.
Now Ryan on 2nd down. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
To throw is Ryan. Dancing to his left. He may try and run for this. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a gain of 9, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And no move by Dan Quinn to get the offense off the field. They're staying out there, and they're going for it on 4th.
4 down. Alert.
And now before this 4th and 2 play comes to fruition, they're going to think about it and call a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth.
12.
They'll try and throw for him with Ryan. And this is incomplete. Dan Quinn's guys unable to come through there on fourth down. And the Buccaneers defense holds and they get the football back. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
Yeah, baby. Let's go now.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Green, Triple C.
A first down throw for Winston. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Evans. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Winston now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Hey, sub. Let's go.
Winston now. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Tack McKinley in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Now a second down throw for Winston. Airing this one out for Evans. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by DeMonte Casey. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Well, they set themselves behind the chains, tried to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
After the interception, here's Ryan. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Noah Spence able to get in there and drop him behind the line.
Let's go.
Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Falcons on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 6.
Hey, Tuesday.
Now Ryan. He goes underneath to Freeman. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Gun. Go.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Sidney Jones.
My bad, guys. My bad, guys.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Let's put that team on the bus.
reception. Winston. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And, Jameis intercepted a third time. It's Desmond Trufant. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, given them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Here's Coleman. And he's got room. Accelerating, and off he goes. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play, and pretty much
pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Tyler Davison coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. To throw, Winston. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. Tack McKinley in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. They'll hand it off now. Williams. And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. And we'll see what he can do on the return. So a change of possession here on the punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Atlanta, the win gets them back over 500 at 5-4 on the year. And they'll have another home date next week as the Carolina Panthers come to town. Meanwhile, for the Buccaneers, the turnaround hasn't materialized as they fall to 2-7. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Denver Broncos. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.